Good morning. Wait for this to start. How is everybody? Alrighty. We are going to get into part 2 of Samuel today. Part 2 of 1 Samuel. But before we do, let's get into a daily message here. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Alright. This is Surah 40, line 4. Alright. Right in the beginning of Surah 40, which is titled Al-Mu'min. Al-Mu'min, which is the believer. Alright. Surah 40. Line 4. Alright, let's read it out. It says, "None can dispute about the signs of Allah but the unbelievers. Let not then their strutting about through the land deceive thee." Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This is great because in my head all morning and all evening I have been thinking about the signs of Allah. I think after I did that one video maybe about the signs of Allah, my wheels kept turning. Maybe there were some questions about, what is a sign from God? If it's not a great sign, right? It's really anything that comes from the Lord is great. But it can often be disguised as something so minuscule or even undetectable. But it's the believers that detect that can sense that. That's what makes it great and discoverable. But yeah, sometimes they go unnoticed, those signs, especially to the unbelievers, right? And then there, about to deceive thee. Okay. So like I mentioned last time with signs, they are daily in occurrence, right? We have signs from the Lord daily, if not hourly, even by the minute, if you want it to be so. But it's the nature of our world, right? It could be the influence of the unbelievers or just the setting which we are in this 3D world that makes it hard for us to accept signs of Allah, I would say, just because, we're not paying attention, perhaps. We can ignore things, we don't recognize certain things as signs from Allah when in fact they are signs from Allah. And we were having a conversation and somebody said something along the lines of, to believe is to deceive. I was like, that's an interesting thought, but now we can think of to unbelieve is to deceive, right? But it says here, let not then their strutting about the land deceive thee. So let not then the unbelievers strutting about the land deceive thee. Even though we are in a very law of physics oriented world, even though we have all these said distractions, let not that distract from the daily, the hourly, the minutely, the minute occurrence of the signs of Allah. And so we're like, how do we see these signs, right? How do we, what does a sign from God feel like? What does that look like? Well, I'll tell you, having that communication with Him, first through prayer, which, if you're doing it multiple times a day, it opens up that line of communication. He will tell you outright, this is a sign, or you will even initiate the process of receiving a sign from Allah. You'll ask Him for something. You'll ask Him for help. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. Asking the Lord for help. Crying out to the Lord for help. And it can be for things that are so small, you know. We talk about reaching out to Lord or God in our darkest moments, in our most troubling times. But what about for those little things? You are not irritating Him, even reaching out for the little things or the minor inconveniences, because it is more irritating for the Lord to watch you go through these minor inconveniences and then perhaps later blame Him or later question Him or later not, say, later, or just, be upset without speaking to Him first, without, expressing some form of communication to Him. That is more displeasing to Him than reaching out to Him in times of minor inconvenience or minor upset. So I encourage all of you, because He is omnipresent, right? He's not just focused on one individual. I encourage you to, even in the most minor things, right? Things that maybe are little chores for you, things that happen and they're minor inconveniences. Reach out to the Lord for help and ask Him for assistance. The key is to believe that it's already been done. If you're checking and you're second guessing and you're wondering, oh, did this happen? Is this already done? Then, the less you'll find the result to be proven true. But if you immediately accept that He has done what you asked in your heart, you can consider it done, and you don't even need to worry or stress about said thing anymore. So that is something that I'm getting used to, right? Because I'm always, a little bit of a control freak in a sense, right? I have to make sure things are done my way, or I just do them myself. I have to do things myself, I don't trust anybody to put their hand. But now I think I can open up and trust the Lord to go ahead and use His might and power much better than I would even be able to, right? It's letting go of that control and letting go of that control. So just relinquish yourself. Is that a proper term? Relinquish. Voluntarily cease to keep or to claim. Voluntarily cease to keep or claim. To give up, yes. To give up control. To relinquish control. Even then, I should stop second guessing when these magical vocabulary words come to mind, right? It's true that it's the Spirit, because I oftentimes don't know, I'm like, is that? Yes, the Spirit. Okay? Relinquish. So, again, don't try to check yourself. Don't listen to those around you, as hard as it may be, because we are in a social society. We are in a society, we are in a 3D world where physics apply and, magic doesn't exist, right? But we have the Lord. We have the Lord and His great power. As we're reading through the Old Testament, we can see, all of the things He's done. And I can tell, as many of us are reading, it's almost like we're in disbelief. We're thinking, did that really happen? Or how did that happen like that? That's not what we're supposed to be doing, right? We're not supposed to question. We're not supposed to second guess. Because the more that happens, it disintegrates the truth for everybody else. But, the Lord thus restore. The Lord thus restore. So let's go ahead and get into Samuel 2. We're going to go back into a little bit of drama here. We're going to learn about the rise and fall of the Philistines, and then the fall and rise of the Israelites. So let's talk about it. Just a quick little message for you guys in 1 Samuel. I'll catch you guys in just a second. Oh, before I do, let me go ahead and I want to title these morning messages now. I forgot I can edit the title. So instead of just being generic, Happy Monday, Happy Tuesday, as cute and comforting as it may be, I will go ahead and title these Okay. Relinquish. That was a good spiritual word. Relinquishing control and gaining trust. Okay. Alrighty. Yes, leave it to the Lord. Leave it to the Lord. I will be back in just a moment. Thank you.